Apple just quietly turned Siri into the most valuable piece of real estate in artificial intelligence, and almost nobody has processed what that really means for their money, their job, or their business. Reports say Apple is getting ready to let you pipe your voice straight into whatever AI you want. From ChatGPT to Gemini to Claude, all through one assistant on your iPhone. This is not just an AI update. This is a new battlefield for trillions of dollars in attention, subscriptions, and AI tools. Let me break it all down for you right now. Siri has been the punchline of AI jokes for years, but in the last 24 hours, the story changed. Here is what actually happened. According to a report from Bloomberg, summarized by multiple outlets, Apple plans to open Siri to outside artificial intelligence assistants as part of a major Siri overhaul coming with iOS 27. That means instead of being locked into a single Apple-controlled brain, Siri will become more like a switchboard that can route your request to third-party AI engines. ChatGPT is already integrated, but now Apple reportedly wants Siri to work with competitors too, like Google Gemini and Anthropic's Claude, or any AI app you install from the App Store. And look at who controls the gateway. Apple has more than 2.2 billion active devices worldwide, and well over a billion of those are iPhones. That is not just market share, that is distribution power. When Apple decides something becomes a default experience, entire industries get rearranged. Think about what Safari Plus default Google search did for the search business. Think about what the App Store did for mobile software, or what Apple Pay did for contactless payments. Once Apple creates a standard, money, jobs, and innovation flow toward it. Now they are pointing that same playbook at artificial intelligence. This also fits Apple's long game with services and recurring revenue. The App Store ecosystem already facilitates over $1 trillion in developer billings and sales per year, with hundreds of billions flowing through digital services and subscriptions. If AI assistants become a new subscription layer, and Apple takes even a modest cut when you subscribe to AI tools inside the App Store, that is a new high-margin revenue stream for decades. From a competitive angle, this move is also Apple admitting something important. They are saying, in effect, we do not have to win the AI model war, we just have to own the interface. Apple tried to build its own generative AI stack under the Apple Intelligence brand. But delays and bugs pushed the full Siri overhaul into 2026 and beyond. Meanwhile, ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and others raced ahead in raw capability. So instead of insisting Siri must be the smartest model, Apple is positioning Siri as the best traffic cop. It is kind of like what they did with search. Apple never built a full-blown search engine to beat Google. They negotiated a deal where Google pays tens of billions of dollars to be the default search inside Safari. Now imagine the AI version of that. Over the next 5 years, every major AI lab could be fighting for prime placement inside Siri's AI menu, or even paying for better discovery and integration. So what does all of that mean for the business side, the stock market, and people who care about AI investing? Let us start with Apple itself. None of this is guaranteed to move the stock tomorrow morning, but structurally it reinforces why Apple trades near a $4 trillion market cap. Investors love predictable recurring revenue, and Apple's services business has already been on a tear. A Siri-centric AI marketplace would add another layer of subscription-based, high-margin services on top of that. If Apple takes a standard platform cut when you subscribe to ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, or any other AI tools through Siri, every AI model that wins on iPhone could be sending a slice of revenue back to Cupertino. That is a powerful position. You are not just selling iPhones anymore. You are renting out AI shelf space on top of a 1.5 billion user base. Who else wins? First, the model providers. Google's Gemini already has the deepest official partnership here. That is a big deal for Alphabet, because it turns Apple devices into a distribution channel for Gemini-based features, even as regulators force Google to behave more carefully in search. Anthropic and OpenAI are likely winners too. If Claude and ChatGPT become first-class citizens inside Siri, that could accelerate their paid usage and enterprise adoption without them ever building their own phones. Second, developers and entrepreneurs. If you can build an AI business that plugs into this Siri extensions world, you no longer have to convince users to install yet another standalone app and remember to open it. You just need to be the best at a specific workflow, then live behind a spoken command. Siri, open my real estate deal assistant. Siri, ask my bookkeeping AI if my cash flow can handle a new hire. That is a new type of AI side hustle and AI business opportunity. Who could lose from this shift? Traditional app categories where the only value is a thin wrapper around a generic chatbot are in trouble. If your product is basically ChatGPT with a prettier interface, and now Siri can talk directly to ChatGPT or its competitors, what is your moat? Those apps will get squeezed hard. There is also real risk for platform competitors. If Apple nails this, it makes switching away from iPhone much harder for high-value users. That puts pressure on Android phone makers and even on other voice assistant platforms like Alexa, unless they respond with equally compelling AI routing layers. For regular people, this also reshapes parts of the job market. Routine customer support, basic scheduling, and repetitive back-office work have already been under pressure from AI automation. Once those capabilities are one voice command away on every iPhone, it becomes even easier for small businesses to automate tasks that used to require a part-time assistant. Some AI jobs will shrink, but new roles will grow. Companies will need people who understand how to design conversations, chain AI tools together, and use machine learning outputs safely inside business processes. You will see more roles like AI workflow architect, voice experience designer, and AI operations lead. The future of AI work is not just coding models, it is orchestrating them. So how does this actually show up in daily life for someone living in the United States? Let us walk through a few concrete use cases once Siri becomes this open AI router. First, healthcare for chronic conditions. Picture a 40-year-old with type 2 diabetes. Today, maybe they have a clunky portal and a few apps they rarely open. In the Siri Plus AI world, they just say, "Siri, tell my health coach AI my breakfast and adjust my plan." Siri hands that off to a specialized medical coaching assistant that logs the meal, checks blood sugar trends from your connected devices, and gives feedback in natural language. If needed, it can draft a message to your doctor that you approve and send in seconds. That is machine learning quietly nudging you in the right direction without you digging through menus. Second, education and upskilling. A college student struggling with statistics can say, "Siri, ask my study tutor to walk me through this regression problem step by step." Siri routes the request to your chosen AI tutor, which sees your notes, past problems, and even your schedule. It can explain concepts in plain English, quiz you verbally while you're doing dishes, and summarize what you need to review before your exam. That is a very different experience from passively watching a lecture replay. Third, small business and freelancing. Imagine Maya, who runs a 3-person e-commerce brand out of Austin. Right now, she is drowning in admin, email, inventory, ad copy, invoices. After this Siri shift, she sets up a stack of AI tools that all live behind her voice. In the morning commute, she says, "Siri, ask my marketing AI to write 2 new ad variations for our top product and schedule them for testing." At lunch, "Siri, check my finance assistant. Do I have enough cash this month to increase ad spend by 15%? In the afternoon, "Siri, tell my support agent AI to reply to any shipping delay emails with the updated delivery window and a 10% coupon." By the end of the month, she has effectively hired a ghost operations team made of artificial intelligence tools on demand, always listening through Siri. Her revenue goes up, her hours go down, and that is about as close as you get to passive income AI in the real world. Now I am curious, do you see this as a good thing, or are you worried about Apple becoming the gatekeeper for which AI assistants you are allowed to talk to? Drop your take in the comments. I actually read as many as I can because it helps shape what we dig into next on SKM AI Expert. And if you are getting real value from this breakdown, you know what to do. That subscribe button is right there, and it genuinely helps this channel keep bringing you deep, ad-friendly AI updates for free. Let us talk about where this is heading next. In the next 6 months, I expect Apple to use its developer conference, WWDC on June 8th, to officially show off the Siri extension system and a more powerful Siri chatbot-style interface. Early versions will likely land in developer betas of iOS 27 and slowly roll out in the fall. At first, only a handful of big-name AI tools will plug in. Expect Gemini, ChatGPT, and maybe 1 or 2 others that are carefully vetted. Within a year, by spring of 2027, we could see a full-blown AI layer inside the App Store. Imagine categories like Best AI Tools 2026 sitting right beside games and productivity apps with clear ratings and pricing, and a toggle inside Siri settings where you choose a default AI for writing, one for research, one for coding, one for legal drafts. AI subscriptions will start to look like streaming bundles. $10 here for writing and marketing, $15 there for coding and data analysis, maybe another for your personal finance AI. 5 years out, if Apple executes, the average iPhone user will not talk about opening apps nearly as much. You will just say what you want in natural language, and a swarm of specialized agents behind Siri will coordinate across your calendar, messages, docs, bank accounts, and devices. That is the real future of AI on phones. The assistant becomes the new operating system, and apps become mostly background services. So what should you do right now to stay ahead of this shift? First, treat this as a wake-up call to level up your own artificial intelligence literacy. Get comfortable using at least 2 different AI tools deeply. For example, learn how to use ChatGPT for writing and brainstorming, and Gemini or Claude for research and analysis. The more fluent you are across models, the more leverage you will have when Siri lets you route tasks between them with your voice. Second, if you are building an AI business or thinking about an AI side hustle, start designing for voice first. Ask yourself, what could my product do if the only interface was a 30-second conversation through Siri? If you can make your service deliver clear value in that tiny window, you will be in a strong position when the extension system opens up. Third, if you're an investor or future investor, do your own research into how companies like Apple, Alphabet, and other AI stocks are positioning themselves around this interface layer. None of this is financial advice, but understanding who controls distribution versus who provides raw AI horsepower is critical for long-term AI investing decisions. Here is the bottom line. For the last couple of years, the AI conversation has been all about whose model is smarter. Today's news is a reminder that the real power often lies with whoever owns the interface between humans and those models. Apple is making a play to own that interface for 1 billion plus people. If Siri truly becomes the front door to every major AI assistant on the planet, then the way you work, learn, invest, and even relax is going to feel very different, very fast. Not because you suddenly got a new app, but because your voice became the remote control for a personal swarm of AI agents. This is Kashi from SKM AI Expert, and I will leave you with this thought. In the age of artificial intelligence, the most valuable skill is not knowing every tool. It is knowing how to ask the right question, to the right model, at the right moment. Siri might soon make that as simple as speaking out loud. Make sure when that happens, you are the one giving the instructions, not the one getting replaced. Stick around, hit subscribe, and I will see you in the next deep dive. The AI wars are just getting started, and you do not want to be catching up from behind.